So here's the next group of young Devriendts being settled. I'm going to start tunnel training them here pretty soon. I'm going to be doing that this year. Just put the tunnel together not that long ago. I've actually been using it for the Rakovniks at the moment. But these guys are going to start tunnel training here pretty soon. They seem pretty well adjusted. A couple of these I just moved over, 3 of them. But this is basically what we'll call the first round. There's a couple behind them. But all young Devriendts. Mostly blue bars, of course. Apart from this blue check hen. But I got a couple checkers coming up in the nest. So, like I said, we're going to be working them with the tunnel here pretty soon. Get them nice and settled, start flying. That'll give me 12 going. I've got 6 more coming in right behind them. They'll be out here in maybe 2 weeks. Week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. 6 more, then another round behind them. So just time for these guys to learn where they live and hopefully using the tunnel system. So basically what'll happen is I'll run a stand here and there'll be a tunnel go up there. I may actually lower the trap a little bit and redesign the front of this loft. The other thing that's going on, you'll remember earlier in the year, last year actually, I bitched a lot about my hired carpentry help. Take a look at the roof. Even though he did a so-so job on this, you can see the roof's going. There's actually some daylight showing in some of the plywood, which I guess that's not his fault. But you can definitely see a nice big bow in there on both those sheets. So that roof's gonna have to be fixed. But now that I do the carpentry thing, not a big deal. I'll just replace them. But that's what we're going to be doing. So they'll basically have a stand here right about where they're at and a ramp that goes up with a cage tunnel, and they'll go into that. And then after they've learned that process for a few days, going through the trap, getting the food, then we'll take the second ramp. Instead of just taking the tunnel off, I'm going to do a second ramp the same length, same width, basically a clone of it, but without the tunnel on it. And then they'll go up the ramp, and eventually then we'll take the ramp away, and they'll be just the stand and flying to the trap. And that should hopefully lock them in real good without the birds of prey pestering them, which I haven't really, I've been lucky. I haven't seen the Coopers or the Peregrines here recently. I did have a red tail earlier today, and a lot of little birds were picking on the red tail. So that's a good thing. No hawks. Lots of young rovers coming up. Going to be doing them, start settling them here pretty soon, probably in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. They're a little behind these guys. But good crop of 2023 young birds now finally starting to come up here, beginning of June. Breeding season, slow start, obviously, again, because of the wishy-washy weather. But got a good start, though, so far. And there's going to be a lot more of them. I should manage to breed probably 50 or 60 Devriendts this year. That's a pretty good start for this year. And get the black widow birds fired up and get them going. And I got a couple other odds and ends. I've got some Heilmans that I really don't talk about at all either. So until next time, guys, keep them flying.